all the pretty faces. So welcome to our squad call, #squad. And for those of you who don't know what that means, it's just our self-titled clique. It's our group. We actually have a group thread called the Sisterhood. And then it became #squad, and we have these really cute keychains. I can't find my keys that Ashley sent us all, and they say squad. So anyway, actually Danielle was part of the squad, but she did her team call last night, and because the four of us actually all do our team calls on Tuesday, I think it was Ashley's idea that we all, I think it was Ashley, that we all jump on and do one together, or Leto, I call her Leto. So if you ever see me say Leto, I'm not spelling her name wrong. That's just what I call her. And so we thought it'd be really cool and exciting to join all four of our teams together. I know Ashley and Letty do a lot of things together, as well as Lori and myself. But we don't ever really do anything with each other's teams. And I thought, well, how cool is this? So we wanted to come together, do this team call for all four of our teams. And we are going back and forth on topics and what we want to talk about, because with the four of us, I'm sure we can cover so much. And I was telling the girls, I'm like, well, I know my team's excited for this because they're so tired of me. Like, they're so tired of hearing me say whatever it is that I say. And I'm sure we all feel that way. So I think this is a breath of fresh air. And so we're all going to take turns. You can't hear me? I think you can. We good? Okay. I think everybody can hear me, because I probably would have got one of these if you couldn't hear me. So we went through different topics and what we wanted to talk about. And since it's our final week of the month, we all know that everyone is still pushing to hit their goals, to hit their end of the month goals, which of course our main goal, most of us, right? Our main goal, our non-negotiable, is securing Success Club. So we thought we'd come on and talk about how the four of us, the four of us, every time you see those leaderboards, we're all like right up against each other, and we tend to get those points very early in the month. And it's not like we have some secret magic potion, or that we're any more talented or any smarter or any better than anybody on our teams. It's just that we do the same exact things every single month. So it's not a surprise that you see that we have secured our Success Club in the beginning or earlier stages of the month. Benjamin, shh. Sorry. And so we thought we'd all come on and talk about that, because while we all do things sort of the same, we may do things a little bit differently. We all have different markets. We all have different lifestyles and different schedules. And some of us just kind of work when we can. Some set hours aside. Some do it in between, dropping kids off, or, taking the dogs out, or that's what Ashley and Letty do. They plan their day with their puppies, and Lori and I surround the kids, but they're all kids. So I'll go ahead and start. It's September 27th. Oh my goodness, my son turns 5 tomorrow. So we're at the final days of the month, and raise your hand if you have already secured Success Club. I know I can't see everybody. Okay, did you see it? Yep, cool. So congratulations. If you are on the board at all, that means you have helped at least one person, and the month is not over. It ain't over till it's over. So the first thing I want to talk about are the letters CRT. CRT. And what do those stand for? The C stands for consistency. Consistent, I know you're like, that word, I hear it all the time, but we are consistently consistent, and I'm going to break down what exactly I do to be consistent with hitting Success Club and what goes with hitting Success Club every month. So consistency leads to reliability, which leads to making us trustworthy. CRT. Because we are consistent, I am reliable. I am showing my followers that I am reliable. And what does that do? That makes me trustworthy. That builds trust with my followers. And those are those people that you hear us say are our ride or dies. Those are the people that are looking for us to post every single day. They're looking for that, for me, my first post is usually a workout post or some kind of motivation. And so I even feel the pressure for myself. So that's just great accountability for me. If I know that I haven't put, it's like 10 o'clock, I'm like, oh my God, I haven't done my workout, I haven't done my post, I better get to it. So that forces me, because I'll get carried away doing 8 million other things, as I'm sure all of you do. But so that early morning post, so creating consistency, or people are looking for, Lori to post, pictures with Devin, or going to Target, or her makeup, like all those things, right? We all have different things that we're noted for and what we're reliable for. So consistency makes you reliable, and it makes you trustworthy. If you remember those things, you'll always want to be consistent. And consistency just doesn't mean on social media. Yes, that's how we get ourselves out there, but what are we posting, right? So we have to be consistent in our workouts. And I know that sounds so basic, but I can tell you there are sorry, my son. There are so many coaches. Benjamin, shh, I want to call. Not just social media, but doing our workouts, being consistent in our workouts, and being consistent with our nutrition. And that doesn't mean post a picture of you and your shake every day. Unless you're doing the Health Bet Challenge, that's just not cute. It's not. But there are different ways to weave that into your lifestyle. So being consistent with the workouts and being consistent with your nutrition is what's going to attract people to you. If you keep showing up with zero results, and I don't mean they have to be physical results, because not everybody needs to lose weight, right? Not everybody's in that, but you need to be showing some sort of result. It's changing your life in some way. So make sure that you are, showing up and being consistent, not only on your workouts and nutrition, but also on your social media. So the next thing that I want to talk about, that's more general. It doesn't really give you tools to implement. So now I'm going to give you tools to implement and what I do. So the next thing I want you to write down is PIPA, P-I-P-A. It's really simple. P, you plan. Plan, 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 plan. You cannot run this business without planning ahead. So the first P is plan. The second one is implement. Plan, then implement. And then the last PA stands for plan again. Because you cannot just plan for this month. And I'm guilty of it. Like I know Lori and I would be like, oh my God, we have not set up our challenge for this month or next month, even though we tell our teams to do it too. So look, we're not like, we rush too sometimes, life gets in the way, but we get it done because we know we have to get it done. But PIPA, plan, implement, plan ahead. So here's what I do to make sure. I know a lot of us, you'll notice, like I said earlier in the call, that the 4 of us, we make sure that we hit Success Club in the first 2 weeks of the month. Now, of course, because Danielle's our leader, she goes by 5 points by the 5th, 10 by the 10th. So I just stick to that. Some people by the 15th, whatever it is. So you do your heavy lifting in the first 2 weeks of your business. That's what I do. And I'm pretty sure that's what all the girls, that us leaders do, and a lot of you do, because you want to make sure that you're not waiting till the 30th at 11 p.m. That's East Coast. So some of you, that's even earlier, depending on your time zone, to get those last few customers into your challenge group, to secure those last. How stressful is that? You've done it, right? So if you put the heavy lifting in the first 2 weeks of your business, then you can reserve that last week for the next month. And that's what I do. So here's the strategy of what I do. So for me, 5 by the 5th, 10 by the 10th, you have to set a specific goal date like that. You can't just say, I'm going to hit Success Club this month. Well, when? Set a date, because it kind of puts a little fire under your butt to make sure that you hit it. And so if you give yourself till like the 10th, you have some wiggle room, right? So at least you can try to get in the beginning of the month, but if not, you've got some time at the end. And I always tell my team, if that's a little too aggressive or intimidating for you, aim for one person a week. One person a week. There's 4 weeks in a month. That's 4 people. That's a 1 challenge pack a week. That's 8 points. So when you say 1 per week, doesn't that sound a lot more doable? You're like, oh, that's easy. And it took me a long time to figure that out for my team. I was like, just get 5 points, 10 points, but it doesn't work like that. And so if you set those goals, that might be easier. So for me, really quick, so that I can hand the call over to somebody else, is here's what I do every single month. I always have a new challenge group planned to start mid-month, so like the third Monday of the month, right? Either the second or the third week of the month. It just kind of depends on my schedule and where I'm at in the world, but usually that's when I do it. Why? Because on the first of the month, that's when you can promote your challenge group and give people time to get their kits in. I know we have BOD, but people still want their Shakeology. So if you do all the promoting at the beginning of the month, plus it's when all the specials are released, then you know you can get everybody in and secure your Success Club. I also have my new coach training every single month at the same time, which is usually the second or third Monday. I don't always have them at the same time, but that also gives me time to recruit new coaches in the beginning of the month. And then by mid-month or by the 10th, I'm done. Not done, but at least I know that I've hit my goal. But I'm still consistently adding more people. And what the four of us, I know we do in common is not only are we running all of our teams and doing everything that you see us doing, but we never stop adding new people. Like I think like this month, I think Ashley was like on day one was like at 24 points or something. I was like, holy cow. And it's like, it's because of she's consistent and all the things that we do. So that's what I do. And also the last thing I do is I do my open house or sneak peek on the last week of every month. So it allows me and my team to secure Success Club if we still need it for this month or hold people off till the next month. And we do ours on a Tuesday through Thursday, just because Monday's a little bit crazy for most people trying to get back into the week. And I like to put a Thursday in there because it's Celebration Thursday, right? It's when we all celebrate in our businesses. So I like to throw that energy into our open house so that they see that we're really happy with what we do and that we have great results. So those are planning ahead. So planning, implement those things by having an actual schedule of what you're going to do, promote those things on your social, your existing customers, and then on the last week, you've got to plan ahead for the next one, or you should already know what you're doing, but plan ahead. And I will go ahead, and there's just two other things I'll do, but I won't talk about them because I'll just give you guys the links to my training videos for them. I do monthly emails, I'm sure we all do, through MailChimp. And I have a video, and I'm sure a lot of us do it as well, but I have a training video because it's not the easiest to set up, I don't think. So I'll give you guys the link in the chat on how I set up monthly MailChimp. I send those out to my current customers every single month, letting them know what's on special, here are the things I include. What are the current specials? What challenge group I have next with the link so that they can join. And what that link goes to is a Google Doc that I make everybody fill out, even if they're my current customer, because it gives me a chance to find out what program they're currently doing, what are their goals, what are they struggling with, and other questions that I have on there, and I'll give you guys those links. And then I also try to include some fun recipe. So this month I did the Reese's Cups, and then next week, Reese's Cups, Shakeology Cups, and then next month I'm doing the vanilla balls, because I like vanilla balls. Lori likes chocolate balls, I like vanilla balls. Vanilla Shakeology balls. So I'll give you guys the link on how to set up MailChimp if you guys want to, if you don't know how to use it yet. And I'll also give you a video if you use Google Forms on how to set up a Google form, and then an example of one that I have going on for my next challenge if you'd like to implement those. Whew, I tried to talk really, really fast so that we all have time. So I hope that I gave you some tips that they're not life-changing and it's nothing you've never heard before, but it's what I do every single month. I became a coach 38 months ago. I've hit Success Club 10 or higher for 38 months. So whatever I'm doing seems to work, and I don't really like to change up what I'm doing if it's working. I always like to make improvements, but I do this every single month and it hasn't failed me yet. I think there's only been one month ever in 38 months that I kind of bit my nails, because on the 20th, I didn't hit SC10 yet. And I was like about to go, and I even told Lori this. I'm like, girl, I'm going to ask my HOA if I can go door to door. And like, can you imagine if I knocked on your door? I'm like, hey, do you do Insanity? Do you know me? Do you want to buy Shakeology? I think you should try Shakeology. And that was my last resort. And I will do that if I have to. In fact, maybe I will. So don't ever be afraid to just go out there and put yourself out there and be uncomfortable. So Consistency, make yourself reliable and trustworthy, because I tell you, if you just say, hey, I'm running a challenge group, so what? They don't know anything about you. They have to trust you, and they have to be following you for a while. And the more you show up, it shows that you're reliable. If you're not showing up consistently, you look flaky, and that means you probably are flaky in everything else in life. It kind of does show that. And how are you going to help them stay consistent? They're the flaky ones that need your help. So you got to show up and be the consistent one, or appear to be like the consistent, reliable one, even though we all have our days. And plan, implement, plan ahead. And I'll go ahead and give you those links right now in the chat, and then turn it over. I think Ashley's next. Is that right?
Can you guys hear me? Yes, yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so I think the reason that we wanted to talk, we were kind of going back and forth, why do we want to talk about Success Club today? And you might think, like, if you're sitting at 0, that there's only 3 days left in the month. But I know on my team, we did a call last month about people, there were several people who hit on the last day of the month who had 0 points. So there is still time to hit it, and that's my first thing, is I have hit it. I hit Success Club 10 every single month. I know on Danielle's trainings, she sometimes says, or if you guys hear her, she always says, like, on the first of the month, I freak out, like my heart skips a beat that I have a 0 in the back office. I never feel that way, because I know there's like 0% possibility that I'm not going to hit Success Club that month. I have decided it in my mind, and I know Danielle knows she's going to hit it too. She just says it like as a joke. But if you guys are seeing that 0 and you think like, oh, I just don't know if I can do it this month, you're not going to do it. You have to make a decision that you are going to do it no matter what. And like when Tanya says, when I was at the 20th of the month, she was about to go door to door. Like, sometimes you have to get crazy. Sometimes you have to get a little scrappy. You have to get uncomfortable. You have to put yourself out there, but it's a decision that you make, because your mind is the most powerful thing you own. So that's my very first thing. Like, last December in 2015, on December 23rd, I was at Success Club 3. And I was hustling my ass off all month long, and I was still at only 3. And I was like, well, how am I going to do this? Because I have Christmas and New Year's to get through. Like, people are not going to be paying attention to their social media or wanting to get healthy. And I ended the month at Success Club 42, I think. So in like a week, I did that. And it is because of all the work that I was doing all month. And I went on overdrive. I was reaching out. I was following up. I was doing everything I could to talk to as many people as possible, and I was doing hammer and chisel and getting really good results with that. So going back to Tanya's point of being consistent, I was showing up every day and getting good results. And finally, at that last week of the month, after like exhausting myself, but I was going to sign up my dad, I was going to sign up my mom, I was going to go to family and do whatever I had to do, because there's not a way that I'm going to miss that month. Because the other thing is, even if I were the one that had to have my family purchase challenge packs from me, it gets in your head if you miss it. It really does like mess with your mind if you miss a month. And so even if you have to be, the one that is actually getting people signed up and getting your family on board, I knew that I was going to do that no matter what, because I didn't want to start the trend of missing it. And that's what happens. Your mind is super powerful. So that is my first tip, is you decide that you're going to hit it no matter what. And with 3 days left in the month, you can still make that decision. I'm going to hit it no matter what. You're going to wake up on October 1st having helped 3 people this month. Okay, and then my second thing, and why I usually hit it in the beginning of the month, is because I start my challenge group the second Monday of every month, with the exception of this month because of the health bet. But generally, I start my challenge group the second Monday of every month, and I usually get a bunch of people, lots of orders that come in the last week of the month or the first couple of days of this new month. And the reason I do that is because that way they can get the sale, whatever, normally the sale ends on the 30th or 31st, but they don't always take it down until sometime the next day or sometimes 2 days later. And so I tell them, you have to order by this date. So there's a sense of urgency. You have to order by this date to get your program on time. And that's why I start at the second Monday, so that if they order it that last week, they get it in time. And that's why I get a few orders that come in the beginning of the month. And that's what happened last month, because the health bet started on the 5th. So we were like cramming all these people, trying to get them plugged into something because there was a sense of urgency. So you also need to make a decision on when your challenge group is going to start, because I hear a lot of people, and you've probably said this, like, well, I want to start a challenge group, but I don't know if I'll have enough people. It's a decision. You just make a decision and then create a sense of urgency around that. And then people don't want to miss out. They don't want to miss the boat. And it's okay to feel confident when you're talking to people about following up with them if they're, not responding, following up and saying, hey, I, just want to follow up with you and see if you wanted to get plugged into this group. The deadline is approaching, or this is the last day to join, or whatever, and create a sense of urgency for people so that they don't feel like they're missing things. Okay, so make a decision. Decide when your challenge group is going to start. Mine's the second Monday of the month. And then that kind of rolls into follow-up. So, yeah, like Lori says, we all started out with not having that many people in our groups. And it's okay if it's like one-on-one or two-on-one or whatever. It doesn't matter. You just make a decision, be consistent with that. Okay, my next point is follow-up. So I think that we think that we are bothering people when we're following up with them, but it's just not true. It happens to me all the time where someone sends me a message and I'm checking it, and I think, well, I'll get back to them when I'm home on my computer because I don't like to type on my phone or do too much work for my phone, and then I forget. And then I'm like going back to try to follow up with people, and I'm like, crap, I never sent these people messages. That's what's happening to you a lot of times. People see things and, they're giving their kids a bath, or they're at the grocery store, or they're at a stoplight and then the light turns green and they forget to reply. It is not, if someone sees your message and doesn't reply, they are not slapping you in the face and saying, you bother me and I don't want to deal with you. They're just probably busy. So if you, and it's, I have like 4 or 5 follow-ups that I send. People do not come off of my list, and I never give up on them, and I give them an out a lot. So I will follow up with them. My first follow-up is like, if we're talking back and forth and they say that they want to join, I give them the price and they're ready to go. I give them the link and they don't sign up and they go quiet. Or at any point if they go quiet, I can ask them about, my first follow-up is like, hey girl, just wanted to circle back with you. And you can either say, make sure you got my last message, or if you can see that they saw it, you can say, just wanted to follow up with you and make sure that I get you plugged into this group if you are still wanting to. Are you still thinking about joining us, or is now not the right time for you? And see if they respond to that. If they don't respond to that, I can say my next follow-up could be something like, hey girl, sorry to bother you. I swear I'm not trying to bug you. I just take people asking me for help really seriously, and I want to make sure I'm not letting you down. Are you waiting on a message from me, or were you waiting on a response from me, or something like that? I have on my YouTube channel objections. There's a call that I hosted about objections. And I go through all of my follow-ups on there because I have like 8 different ones that I use. But there's a ton that you can use. I just feel like you have to do it. And I will send like 4 or 5 messages and get crickets. I don't care. I don't care what people think of me because I'm not trying to sell things to them. If they reached out to me for help, or if you reached out to them and then they were still showing interest and curious, they want to change. They're probably just afraid that they're not going to be successful, or maybe to invest the money with you, or they don't trust you yet, or whatever. So I'm not trying to sell anything to them. It's not about me getting a commission or me getting a Success Club point. That's not what people are. It's about actually offering this opportunity to them, whether it's the fitness or the coaching or both, that could change their life. Because you have to make that switch in your mind, because I cannot imagine where my life would be had this not been presented to me. So you have to get over your fear of following up with people, because if you have no follow-up, you have no business. You have to follow up. So that is my 3rd tip. And then the last thing that I do that makes sure I'm getting messages in my inbox, in the beginning, I want you to know you can't really rely only on attraction marketing, where you're just counting on people coming to you. You have to do the hard work behind the scenes, sending messages, sending friend requests, starting conversations. Yes, I can, Tanya. You have to do the hard work. But a way that it does help me to get people coming to me a lot is when once a day on some post that I put up, I'm not making a specific challenge group invite post, but after my caption, I will put, there's still time to join me in my next boot camp if you're interested. Shoot me a message. Or like I'll make something about my meal plan, and then I'll say like, if you're struggling with how to eat or find balance, shoot me a message. I'd love to get you plugged into my next group. or whatever. So one post a day minimum, I am somehow adding on something that I have a group coming up, because you think, and I'm only saying you because I've thought all these things too, but we think that people are seeing everything that we post, so it sounds like redundant or we're being annoying or we're being salesy. People are not seeing everything we post. They're not. And if they are stalking you and they really, really want to join you, but they're afraid. So if they're seeing every post, it's okay if they see that you have an invite every day, because there's going to be one invite that is the straw that broke the camel's back, and they're going to come to you and ask for help. So every single day I put an invite out there. It's not like a super specific challenge group post. It's just a post about my journey, and then a weaving invite, like last line on there, that lets people know I have a group. I would love to have them join me. Let me know if they're interested. And that's how I can continue all month long to get messages coming to me. So those are my 4 things. Make a decision. Make a decision you're going to hit it. Then make a decision when your challenge group is going to start and stick with it. And then follow up with people. You cannot fear the follow-up. That is a huge part of my business. I probably get 50% of my Success Club points every month from following up. And then lastly, throw your invites out every single day. Okay. Was there any? Yes, I will share. I'll put in here my objection video. I'll share my YouTube thing to that. And then I can also share with you guys. I have it in a Google Doc, so you can copy and paste it. And just make sure you tweak it to use your own words. Okay, Letty, are you ready? Go for it, girl.
All right, you can hear me? Yes? Okay, good, yay. Hey guys, thanks for hopping on. I hope this is very valuable and useful for you guys. So I will just get started so we can all have time to start. So the very first thing I do every single month, and this might seem silly, but you'd be surprised how many people do not do this and just baffles my mind, is I write down my goals. So I write down every single month, I write down how many people I want to change, how many lives I want to change that month. And I always compare myself to the month before. So whatever I did the month before, I want to add 5 or add 10, or if there's like a team cup or just whatever, but I'm always comparing myself to myself and not to others. And so I write them down, because I just feel like it's so, so important. If you don't know what your goals are, it's like shooting darts in the dark. And then you don't even know, if you're accomplishing things. I don't know, it just baffles my mind that people don't write their goals down. And then I take it a step further. I write down my monthly goals, but then I break it down into weekly goals. So how many lives do I want to change per week? So if I want to change 20 lives in a month, well, then maybe I want to do 5 lives per week. This just helps me tremendously stay on track. And then I always put my goals, I write them down like pencil and paper, and I put them somewhere where I can see them every single day. So that when I'm working my business, I can look up and see my goals. And if I'm doing something that is not going to get me closer to my goals, then I need to stop doing that. Like wasting time on Facebook, like whatever, getting lost on YouTube, just things that we can get lost doing here and there. And so it's really important for me to have them right in front of me. Just make sure that everything that I'm doing is going to help me get closer to those monthly goals and those weekly goals. So that's the very, very first thing that I do every single month, is write them down and then write them down weekly. And of course I have tons of other goals, but for sure my very first goal is how many lives do I want to change this week or this month? Okay, so I am the same with like Tanya and Ashley. My goal is always to hit Success Club 10 by the 10th. So for me, the month only has 2 weeks. The very first 2 weeks of each month, that's it. So I hustle and I grind and I work really, really hard those first 2 weeks so that I can just hit it and get it out of the way. That's another thing that just shocks me. Like, especially for like my team, I'll see that my team will like sign the most coaches and change the most lives like the last couple of days of the week. I'm like, if you guys could just work that hard with that intensity and just hustle as hard as you guys do those last couple of weeks, but change your mindset to do it in the first of the week, then you don't have to wait to the last couple of days where you're like, having a freaking heart attack and getting desperate. So that's another thing that really helped me, is just changing my mindset. Like for me, those first 2 weeks, that's it, right? I have to hit it those first 2 weeks, no matter what, non-negotiable every single month. So Another thing that has helped me tremendously is that I am super consistent, like Tanya said, on social media. If you go to my social media, you know exactly what program I'm doing and you know exactly what day I am on. And then I don't share about my Shakeology every single day, but I share enough that people know that I've been drinking it for 4 years now. So that's one thing that's also uber important, because like Tanya said, if you're consistent, then you're going to be reliable, and then people are going to trust you. I feel like that's the hardest part about this business, or it can be, especially in the beginning, is to earn people's trust. And the only way you're going to do that is if you are super consistent every single day, especially on those days where you just don't feel like it, because you never know, that day you decide not to post, maybe that's the day that person that's been following you and watching you wanted to join you, but because you decided to not show up that day, they didn't. And then something else is like, I also share my struggles and I share progress, because people want to know that you're seeing progress, whether that's non-scale victories, whether that's victories, scale victories, whatever it is, you need to be talking about the progress that you're having. Again, that could be even mental or emotional progress, whatever progress. But if you're doing new programs every month, every other month, then you should be having some kind of progress going on that you can document and that you can share with people so that they want that program. I mean, then I also talk about my setbacks, because we always have, everyone has setbacks, everyone has struggles. And so putting them out there just makes you, what's that word? People can connect with you, people can relate with you. So that's just another thing that, of course, you hear all the time. But this is the way I strategize my month. And I'm going to show you my actual calendar, because I'm super visual and maybe some of you are visual. And it might look a little much, but that's because I also run the two markets. I run an English market and my Spanish market. And so everything that I do for my English, I do for my Spanish. So my calendar can look a little crazy, but don't let it scare you. Hold on. So I just kind of want to show you, just because I'm super visual. And this is what we do every single month. I do the exact same thing every month. I have a free 5-day group, both in Spanish and in English, and I strategize it to where from those groups, I'm able to help people plug into challenge pack groups. So I always have the Spanish one the first Tuesday of every month. So this month it was September 5th, and it's circled right here, Grupo de 5 días, and it's a 5-day free clean eating group for my Spanish speakers. And I do it that way because the paid group started yesterday, the 26th. So that gives people enough time to go through the group, to rock it, to love it, and then gives us time to talk afterwards, see how they did, and then invite them to the 21-day fixed Spanish group. We do that every single month, is exact same way. And then the English one is always a week after that. So the English one was actually on the 12th. And again, I strategized it, I planned it so that when this one ended on the 17th, that still gave them enough time, those that really are interested and wanted to join the 26 group, still gave them a few days to get their challenge packs ordered and for them to be able to rock it on the 26th. And now with BOD, it's even more convenient, because let's just say they order a few days late, they can access their workouts right away on Beachbody On Demand. But those are every single month without fail. We have those two groups in Spanish and English. And I got the idea from free groups from Brandy Bots, I think the very first summit that I went to in 2014. So I've always applied that, and it's really effective for me. That's where I get the majority of my challengers are from these 5 free-day groups. And then also host my team too, because I open them up to my entire downline. Whoever wants to get in there and add their guests, they can, and I just take the responsibility of kind of like running them and posting in there for them. But again, and so something else that I do every single day, guys, I sit down and I have this calendar in front of me so that I know what's coming up next and I can plan ahead. That's something else that Tanya said. Because if I have a free day group coming up, I'm going to be more successful if I have 4 days to invite, to make posts, to make private invites, versus if I never look at this calendar and then I wake up and I'm like, holy crap, like tomorrow's a free 5-day group. Let me see how many invites I can get. But you guys also need to plan ahead if you strategize your month in a certain way. My challenge groups are always, I only just have one, but that's because I run 2, both Spanish and English. I used to have 2, but it's too much. So, but I plan it to where it's always the last Monday of every month, so that, again, those people from those 5 free day groups can have time to make their purchase, make their order, and join us. And this also just really helps me feel good. Like Nita Myron said last week or a week ago, how, in order to just impact more lives is be a value giving machine. Like, always offer value to your challengers and don't expect anything in return. Like, just feel good that you're changing a life. Just feel good that you're making a difference. Whether that ends up in a challenge pack or not, odds are if you give them your all and if you really are genuinely happy to help them, odds are they eventually will join you. Maybe not that month, but maybe in a few months after that. You just never know. So that's another thing that I just always try to remember. I try to disconnect myself from the outcome so that I don't seem desperate, because you might not think you're coming across desperate, but if you're like so caught up on the outcome, are they going to say yes? Are they going to say yes? This is going to be a challenge pack. It comes across desperate and it comes across icky, whether you think of it or not. So always just having your mentality, I'm going to help this person regardless if it comes, turns into a challenge pack or not. Okay. And then we also have sneak peek groups every single month. I do it in Spanish and I do it in English. And I also strategize so that they're both 3 days. So my Spanish one this week was on the 20th. So 3 days, still enough time for them to join our team before the month ends. The English one was on the 21st. Still enough time so that when it ends, they can have enough time to join our team. And I also do it this way because the first Monday of every month, we always start our new coach training group. And so that also gives them a sense of urgency. So in the sneak peeks, I always say like, hey guys, our next new coach training group is coming up next week. Those of you that are joining, I'm going to plug you in that group, blah, blah, blah. So this is just, Ashley mentioned that too, have a date of when your groups are going to start and then have some urgency behind it. Like, let them know this is when we're starting. Are you in, or is this not a good time for you? But that's the only thing I wanted to show you with you guys with this calendar. And it's the same every single month, the same groups, the same day, so that it can everyone who comes out of those groups has a chance to join whatever group that is coming up next. I'll stop sharing that. And then just something else that I do is I like to go live on my like page at least 3 to 4 times a week, yeah. And so what I like to do when I go live on my like page is I kind of like to have a teaser. So like for example, if I'm doing 21 Day Fix Extreme, or even if I'm not doing 21 Day Fix Extreme, but I have a 21 Day Fix Extreme group coming up, which usually those are the ones that I run, I go live and I always show like, hey guys, I just wanted to show you 3 of my favorite exercises from the program today, 21 Day Fix Extreme. And then I talk to them because going live, the purpose of going live is for you to interact with people. So what I don't do is I don't just push play and work out without ever speaking to the people who are tuning in live. Like, that's kind of boring. I talk to them and I tell them like, these are the 3 exercises I love from Plyo Fix Extreme today. This is how you do them. This is the body part it works. And then I push play so they can see the actual work on the back. They can see me doing it. We do it together. And then I talk about it a little bit afterwards. This has actually also helped me because it just kind of helps them. It's like a little mini virtual fit club, if you will. And I've also done it with the meal containers. Like I'll cook something and have it almost prepped. I have it in the containers. I go live and I'm showing them like, hey, this is what I'm eating. It's coming out of my 21 Day Fix meal plan. Hint, hint. And I don't always make it like, join me. But I do like to throw out there when I go live, like, I'm so excited for everyone that's going to join me at the end of this month with 21 Day Fix. This is actually the program we're going to be using. When you order it, you're going to get these workouts. And you're going to get so, I do throw it out there when I go live, but I don't make it all about that. I make it more about like, hey, check out the workouts, and they're able to try them out. And the people who've been watching you, every time they see a little teaser, that might help them just see a little bit more of what they can expect and see a little bit more of what the program is all about. But that's something that's worked for me. Like I said, and then sometimes I will say things like, sometimes I just direct like, you guys, my next group is at the end of the month. Shoot me a message if you want to join. This is the program we're going to be using, blah, blah, blah. Or sometimes I'll say something like, Those of you that message me about joining my next group, my next virtual group where I help women lose weight, I'm, hang tight. I'm answering my messages today. The people who are watching live who maybe didn't message me, I'm like, oh man, like I want to message her. Like she's going to help these people in a virtual group. So that's what I like to do. So I'm going to be doing that with Core de Force, and that I feel like that's really, really helped me because I get a lot of, I say that because I get a lot of messages from people like, I watched your live video and you mentioned this and that, or watched your live video and I've actually been thinking about 21 Day Fix Extreme. Can you tell me more about that? And then, so something else that I do is, like Ashley was saying, follow-ups. I do follow-up Fridays, and that just helps remind me that, hey, it's follow-up day. And it's Fridays. People get paid. People are in happier moods. And it's really just to help me, like knowing that I'm following up with people. And the last thing before I turn it over to Lori, and this actually I got from Ashley, which I feel like it's really, really genius. Especially right now at the end of the month, if you guys have been talking to people and they haven't responded back to you guys, what you can do and what I've been doing, what I do is you can send a follow-up and say something like, hey, have you had your chance to order? And also, by the way, I completely forgot to tell you this, but send me your mailing address when you've completed your order so I can send you a small little welcome gift. And what I've been sending, what Ashley sends, this is just a small packet of Energize. You get like the box for, I don't know, like $10. And you never know, guys, like if someone's actually considering making a purchase, right? If they're going back and forth, you offering a small little welcome prize could be that thing that just like, okay, fine, like I'm just going to do it. She's going to send me a little welcome gift. Like you never know. I thought that was pretty genius. And I've been using that a lot. And double winning, they get to try Energize. They're going to love it. And maybe they're going to purchase it and now be a, morning crack addict like we all are. And then, use Energize forever to the end of the day. So that's something else that I thought was really, really smart. And I've been doing that with all my challenge pack purchases, especially my new coaches too. That's their little welcome gift. It's a one packet of Energize. And that's all I have. So now I will hand it over to Miss Lori.
Thank you. Okay. So you guys, I'm copying some of these links real quick and like posting them in my group before we close this because then they'll be gone. So if you guys haven't copied these yet, go in there really quick and do that. I'm going to paste this. So everything that everybody said has been amazing and on point. And I know that a lot of times you're going to be like, okay, well, you're giving us all this information and it's all great, but I still don't have the people. Like, what do I do? How do I find them? I still need to get the people. And the thing what I have noticed that first comes from those that we hear is that they are afraid. So before I get into that, I'm going to tell you guys what I do because it's pretty much the exact same. So my goal as well is Success Club 5 by the 5th and 10 by the 10th. But my goal isn't Success Club 10 every month. My goal is at least 20 because I feel like if I'm going to shoot for the small and the minimum, my work ethic is going to be small and minimum. But if I shoot to hit bigger, I'm going to work harder every day and I'm going to work more than what I would because if I know that my goal for the month is to help at least 20 people get started, I'm going to work a little more than I would if I was only going to help 3 or 4. So you've got to always think bigger than you ever would think. And it has to be something so big that it's for you and where you're at, it's kind of scary. And it's kind of scary to share that because we all set big goals for ourselves. I know personally, like for me, if I hit 10, I don't feel like I did enough that month. Like I feel like that was a sucky month for me. So personally, like if I don't have at least 20, if I haven't helped at least 10 people, like I don't feel like I've done a good job as a coach. So that's just where I'm at. But like, why not you do that? Why couldn't you do that? We've seen so many people just getting started do the exact same thing, but you have to put it in your mind at the very beginning of the month, like she said, and set yourself up with that intention to say, I'm going to do it big this month, and I'm going to help this number of people. But once you do that, you have to get your actions in line with your intentions. So that's doing exactly what everyone said. That's getting out the planning. That's creating these, your calendar. That's sitting down the time. It's figuring out what you're going to do and how to do it. But the next step is you got to have the people to do it. And if you're not hitting Success Club, it comes down to you're not talking to enough people. Because you think we don't get told no? Like, we get told no probably all day, every day. But the thing that I learned early on was, you tell me no, okay, cool. Like, somebody out there wants my help. And someone told me once at the very beginning when I was doing this business was, people need you more than you need them. And when they said that, it kind of took the pressure off, because I'm like, cool, I don't need you. Like, someone needs me, and it's, if you don't need me right now, there's someone else out there that is literally like crying in the dressing room somewhere, just saying, I just wish I had some help. That was me. That's where I was. And I know that there's someone else out there that feels the exact same way. And that's why when we feel like that, we have to share things like that, because I guarantee you're not alone. I guarantee when you go to pull those pants out of your closet and you go to put them on, and you're like, ooh, these things are a little tight. You're not the only one that feels that way. So you have to be able to become comfortable sharing those things that are uncomfortable, because it's not that it's to put you down. It's to allow you to get that relationship and that connection to someone else. Because you can post your workouts all day, you can post your shake all day, but if you're not doing something that can tie you emotionally to someone else, you're not going to bring people in. That's what they want to hear. They want to hear, man, she's just like me. Man, she's struggling just like me. Like, my business never had been as good until I said, you guys, I got off track and I suck. And I need to figure this out, and I'm doing this for me, and I would just love you to come join me. So if that's even where you're at, maybe you never had a single bit of results because you haven't committed, or maybe you just haven't really put the effort into being the best challenger yourself because you're so focused on the business. Rewind that and go back to you, but you got to publicly put that out there and say, hey guys, this is where I'm at, and this is what I'm doing. And I just want you to do this with me, because, you know, this is how fun it is. This is how a fit fam is. This is how we support each other. You know, whatever it is that's really important to you about this business that brings you together, whether it's the support, you know, and you don't have that at home, there's other people that don't have that either. You know, put that out there for what it is for you, because again, your vibe is going to attract your tribe. And if you want people that want the support in the community and just to have fun, you know, that's what you need to share. But we don't, because we're afraid. And we're afraid what other people are going to think, and we're afraid what they're going to say about us, and we're afraid about, you know, how they're going to judge us. But until someone comes in your house and starts paying your bills, you need to not worry about what they're saying. At the end of the day, this is you. Like, and if I went off of what people said about me and joked behind my back, I would not be here. I had a really good job. I was like a professional accountant. Like, I was a senior level. They wanted me to go into management, and I left that to do Beachbody. Well, I didn't leave it. I got let go, but I could have got a job anywhere. But I did Beachbody. They're like, you're doing this? But fear will hold you back. So here's what I want you guys to really think about. I'm going to give you guys some little tips on how to really overcome that, because it's hard. I'm a super introvert. I was very shy. I didn't even make videos for like the first 2 years for my team because I was like, I can't do it. But you know what? There's nothing on the other side of fear than success. What's the worst that's going to happen? Someone's going to tell you no. They're not going to respond back. You know, you're going to get the quiet treatment. The people that love you and support you won't do you like that. And I guarantee you, you will never find another person who is another entrepreneur, another person that's bettering their life, that will ever put you down for what you're trying to do. The ones that do talk bad about you and do give you the judgment are the ones that have something going on in themselves. They're doubting themselves. They're doubting their own success. They're afraid you're going to leave them behind, and it has nothing to do with you. Okay, so we're going to start and go over real quick just a few things. So I want to read you this little quote, because I have some things going on. And I was reading this, and I was like, wow, this really applies to me, but it applies to everything we do in life. So it says, don't feel failure so much that you refuse to try new things. The saddest summary of life contains 3 descriptions: could have, might have, and should have. So what's going to happen is you're going to hear all these tips that everyone said. I sent people messages. I did these follow-ups, and you'll be like, no, I don't want to do that because I'm afraid that, you know, they might think I'm bugging them or I'm getting on their nerves. But you know what? At the end of the month, and you don't hit Success Club, you're going to look back and say, man, I could have done a little more. I should have reached out. I might have been able to hit it had I done that. So don't make yourself get to the end of the month and say, you could have done this, because Anybody is able to do this. Anyone. So here's one thing you need to learn to live by, not just every single month, but every single day. And that is getting comfortable with just being okay, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. Get comfortable with the fear. So make your goals big, but make them big to where they're realistic and make sure you're planning for them. When you become comfortable getting uncomfortable, it's not so hard. And what happens as you begin to, it's like that 2 seconds right before it happens, that's like the most anticipation, the most anxiety. And then when it happens, you're like, oh, that's it? Okay, cool. On to the next one. And the next time it's easier. And the next time it becomes easier to where you don't really care anymore. And at some point you're going to not worry about reaching out to people and not worrying about messing up on your emails. And you might word vomit this time, but you know what? Next time your email's going to be better. But you're never going to get there until you start trying, right? Okay, number 2. You need to make your dominant first everything thought a positive thought. Fearful thoughts attract more fear, but positive thoughts attract more success. So if you're going to go into this thinking, there's no way I'm going to be able to help 3 people. It's just, I've got so much going on. I'm going through this drama in my life. There's all these things. But if you go into this saying, okay, I need to focus. I'm going to help people because you know what? Because I have all this drama in my life, because I'm struggling so much, I have to do this. And I'm going to find a way to make it happen. So you have to train your mind to find the positive in every single situation that you're in and expect the best to happen. And if you aren't believing for it to happen, it's not going to. If you don't say, I'm going to hit this and like truly believe, like I'm going to make this happen, if there's any possible, like little bit of doubt in your mind, it won't happen. So you have to make that positive assumption and belief about what you're going to do. Okay, number 3, don't give in to the time, the attention, or the energy of the fear. You have to hold yourself accountable. Like she said, you have to be consistent. And like I tell my team, you have to be consistently consistent with that. It's not just 2 or 3 days of posting. It's every single day. I am 48 Success Club 10. I'm 48 months of consecutive Success Club 10. And it's not because like I was just cool like that. Like I showed up every single day for the last 4 years. I have not missed one day. I've been consistent. I've been prepared. I might be late, but people know that about me. That's just kind of who I am. I might be behind, I might be last minute, but that's me. But I'm dependable. I show up and I'm there every day and I make a point to go the extra mile to make it up and to show up. So you have to do that. You have to give your time and your attention to it. So here's the next thing. You can't worry about the scarcity. So basically meaning like everyone's talking about, oh, well, I live in Dallas, and Dallas is like the Hollywood of Beachbody, so I can't do this because there's not going to be any people here. No, that's so not true. Like, there are 7 million people in the United States alone. Like, not to mention, we have Canada and Puerto Rico. Like, there's so many people that need your help. And I guarantee if you walked into a restaurant tonight and you said, okay, I need everybody to tell me who knows what Beachbody is, you might have like 1 or 2 people be like, oh, I've heard of Insanity. Like I bought that at a garage sale. Most people aren't going to know. So you have to not worry about there not being enough. The thing is, you're not spreading yourself out enough. You're not making the point to go out and to find new people and to find the new relationships. So you have to focus on being willing to go out and do that, to be okay getting uncomfortable, meeting new people, starting conversations. And we all have trainings, I know, where we've talked about how do we do that? That's how do we figure those things out about ourselves? We figure out what we like and what we enjoy. We join those groups because they truly interest us. And so that way we create we create genuine relationships with people because we really want to know, like, I'm all in. You want to put me in, not a mascara group, but like you want to put me in a group that talks about like fashion or makeup or like kids hair care. Like I'm in all those groups and I ask questions because I want to know them and I actually genuinely care. So that's how you're going to get over that scarcity. Okay. So here's the other thing. You are going to find the small things in your business and you're going to celebrate them. And that's why every Thursday we say, what are you celebrating today? So whether you've helped somebody or not, whether you have signed coaches or not, you're going to find that small little things that you can celebrate and you can talk about, because as you talk about that, that allows people to see that you are really, really doing this as a business, that you're really serious about it. And the more that you talk about it and the more that you share about it, the more that they know like you're for real about it. And if you don't have anything to share about and you're just really like, I really just don't know what to talk about, share other people's success. Like your coach at some point, at some level, has had some type of success. Whether it is, me, whether it's Tanya, whether it's Leticia, whether it's Ashley, whether it's Danielle, like you can find something in someone to say, you know what, I am just so excited that I have this person to follow, that I've actually seen what this has done for their business. And I can't wait, because you guys, when I was getting started, I didn't have anything to talk about, but my coach back then was a top coach, right? So I was like, you know what? I'm on this top team. We have these great people. I'm so excited about it. I'm getting started and we have somewhere to go. And so people thought, well, while she doesn't know it, she has a group of people that do. So that allows you, again, to have a more connection with people and to bring it in. Okay, so let me keep going. Next point. You need to ask your friends and family to encourage you. So then you go to them and say, hey, I just need your help. So if you're like really, really struggling and you're like, need one more person, because I swear you guys, do not end the month ever in your life with just 3 or 4. That is one person. That's one person. Like, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I cringe every time. I'm like, you were so close. But if that is it, go to your friends and your family, get encouragement, and just say, look, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to just try this out and just tell me your honest opinion. Like, I just really want to see, like, I'm not trying to do this, like, I don't, want you to feel weird, but I need you to give me your honest opinion. Can you just please, like, try these shakes and just really tell me what you think, whether you like them, whether you don't like them, because I believe in what I'm doing. I just need someone else to kind of really let me know, do they really believe it too? And you know what happens? Because you have this 30-day money-back guarantee, normally they'll be willing to try it. If they love you and they're your family and they're your friends and they really support you, they'll try it. And you know what? That will be your last person. And then what happens? You know how we love our shakes? They're going to fall in love with it. And then they're going to keep going with it. But you know what? You still hit your goals. You still showed up. And you now have another person believing it because you got over that fear of asking someone to help you and did that. Okay, so then the next one, and I'll try to cut this off to nowhere at the end, is that you just have to make a point to plan to be great, to plan to hit it. And so you have to start every month and every single day and said, you know what, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to believe that I'm going to, hit whatever that goal was. I'm going to hit whatever that rank was. I'm going to do whatever this was. Because if you're not dreaming big and believing in it, then kind of what's the point? You guys, you have the power to do all this. Your mind, like we've talked about this so many times, your mind is an amazing, powerful thing. And you're able to get through any obstacle that is in your way by just believing in yourself and then believing that what you're doing is actually going to work. And when you show up and when you think that and when that's all you think about to like the depth of your core, you're like, there ain't no way you're going to miss it. Because I know if any of you have kids at home and your kid did not have anything to eat that day, you would find a way to make it happen. That's how I looked at this. That is how I looked at this, because in my life, I struggled so bad that I was just like, you know what? If I don't do this, this is going to take away from my family. But if I do this, if I make this happen, if I grow it, if I build it, if I put the time in, this will feed them. This sent my daughter off to college, you guys. So you have to find what it is in you and just get over that. Get over the fear, start reaching out, start talking, doing all of those little action steps behind the scenes that make it okay. So I know it wasn't really like, how to contact people, but fear is the biggest thing that really is holding you guys back from doing this. So when you let go of that and you start planning and you start doing the action steps, there is no reason you cannot be successful in this, that you cannot make this work, and you cannot be amazing with this business and with your life and with your coaches and with all the people around you and add value to them. So I know that's probably we're now going over, but yeah, hopefully that was helpful.
That was awesome. Do you guys think we should open up for a couple questions? I know it's an hour, but if
I'm cool with it.
Type in the chat box or unmute themselves.
For the four of us to be able to do this call in an hour, and we have lots to say, I say I was pretty good. We were talking fast.
Yeah.
I know I was sweating. I was like,
I'm sweating right now.
So let's do this. If no one has questions, let's now. I know we asked at the beginning of the call. Raise your hand if you. Sorry.
I have something else. Okay, and so something that I did have to actually give you guys. So to help get over that, if you are really struggling and you're like, okay, I got to figure out how I'm going to make this work. We have this, it's 100 go for no challenge. So basically in the last few days of the month, you're like, okay, I'm going to list out every single person that I know that I haven't talked to already. And if you tell me you don't know 100 people, I'm going to shake you. You do. You know the person at the mail, you know your mailman, you know the person at the department store that you see. I know the person at Target. Every time I check out, I go into her lane. Like, you know 100 people. You're going to write all their names down and you're going to reach out to them and just start a conversation. This isn't like, hey, do you want to buy a challenge pack? This is just, hey girl, I just want to say hi. Like, how are your kids? Just want to say thank you so much for always, being such a great checkout lady at Target. I mean, like, I don't know what it is, but like, you're going to find a way to reach out to these 100 people and just start a conversation. Okay. And so I actually have the link. I'm going to post it in here. So that way you can print this out and you can do it. And so if you do that, not only will this help you get there this month, but this will probably set you up for the next month, because you're going to have so many people out there that you're going to reach out to that it's going to begin that system for you for the next month.
Yay. Okay. Letty, someone asked you a question about your 2 days challenge group sneak peek.
Okay. What are they? They're just, Jessica asked, they're just simple clean eating groups that we put together. And I believe I found some, I don't know, documents that someone has shared a long time ago, and I just kind of took those and tweaked them, but they're like super simple. I can share those if you guys want me to share those. I have a Spanish one and an English one. There's like really basic, just lunch, breakfast, dinner, meal plans, and then like little workouts throughout the day and motivational posts throughout the day. That's what it is.
do you guys want, you know what we should do, girls? Let's just do one like shared doc and we'll all put our links in and then post it to our teams. Yeah, that'll be great with all of our stuff.
That 2 day sneak peek, did you do that, Letty? That was a new idea we had, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you do it?
No. She's talking about the sneak peek into the challenge group, though, not the clean eating.
Yeah. So you shared that. You want to?
Yeah, but I didn't do it. Did you do it?
Yeah, I did it. So Ashley mentioned that she had heard another coach do this. So after the 5-day clean eating group, we opened up a sneak peek into a challenge group. The way I did is I just created an event in the actual group already because I didn't want to open up another group. And so what I did is I just like right after the 5-day groups, congratulate everyone. Yay, you did it, blah, blah, blah. You know, who's ready to keep partying with us in the next group, in the next challenge group? If you're ready, click on this link and it's going to take you to an event. And so in the event, it's supposed to be 3 days, but I did it just 2 days. So day one was transformation day, where I shared a bunch of transformations from people on our team and then people just from all over the network who's had amazing transformations with, because we were doing it with Country Heat and 21 Day Fix. So the transformation pictures were from those two programs. And then day two was what comes in the challenge pack, you know, what's all included in the challenge pack. And then I also showed previews of like 21 Day Fix Extreme and Country Heat so that they can get more of a sense of what it is. And then also the price for it. So that's what that 2 day sneak peek was. And Ashley got the idea from another coach. I think it went okay. The way I set it up is I set it up to where no one could comment just because I didn't want like the post to be getting lost. But I think it was during the weekend and I think that was right before Platinum Edge. So I was like really busy. I feel like I can do a better job, but I'm definitely going to keep doing that. I'm definitely, I think maybe next time I'll tweak it and maybe do it in a different group. I don't know. We'll see it. But I think it's a great idea for those people who just want more information. And that way, it just kind of helps them see like a transformation in the season, where all they're getting. And then, you know, if you have new coaches, it kind of takes the pressure off of them to have to talk about what a challenge pack is and the price and all of that. So I do that as a leader, talk about that. I think next time I'm going to go live, because I didn't have time to go. It would be cool to go live and have like the challenge pack in front of me and like explain it to them and show them, but I didn't have a chance to do that. So I'm going to keep doing that, but just tweak it next time.
Okay, I just want to offer one other tip from a call that I got today that I have not implemented, but I thought it was a brilliant idea. So I'm just going to share it with you guys. So I think one of the best challenge packs that we offer is the club and Shakeology, the 140 for the club membership. And that's really the way Beachbody is going. Like, I don't know, we'll probably at some point get rid of the DVDs. I have no idea if that's really going to happen or when, but you guys know they're putting a bunch of content on there, whatever. So I think, you know, getting people familiar with BOD, getting them used to that is a good thing. And this girl, so if you offer the challenge pack, sorry, something in my eye. If you offer the challenge pack and they say no, that's too much money, you can offer them a 6-month membership to BOD for $60, which I didn't even know. And then you get 40% commission off of that. And so it's $60, which is half the price. They don't get Shakeology with it, but they get then added, this girl adds them to their group, the challenge group. And then they're seeing, she says, usually within a week, they're seeing the Shakeology check-ins, they're seeing all the Shakeology posts, and then they upgrade, or they do a digital unlock for a program. So I just thought, and then she said normally they all, within a certain amount of time, end up purchasing challenge packs anyway because they want to get on Shakeology. And then if they say $60 is too much, you can offer them just the free 30-day Beachbody On Demand with like a 7-day sampler pack, or just the free on-demand membership. But I think we don't utilize on-demand enough. And if you guys are not, I think it's insane when there are coaches that are not members to Beachbody On Demand. It is insane. That value is crazy. That's where we're going. So I think if you're not a member, you definitely should be, because that's a way to offer an amazing amount of value for free or a really good price. And so if you're getting $60, she did the math for us, but if you're getting $60, 40% of that is what? 25? 25? Something like that, times however many people, right? And then then they're customers. So that's something that you also have in your pocket, is to offer them a few different options with Beachbody On Demand if they're not ready to be challenge pack customers yet. Yeah. Okay. I guess that's all, right? Any other questions? Okay, so the only other thing then that I wanted to do was, Tanya asked at the beginning of the call, who has already hit successful, we did a few hands raised. Who now, and tell me, like, be honest, who now thinks that they're going to hit it by the end of the month? Yes. Who thinks that they're going to for sure hit it in October?
Oh,
yeah. Okay, good. Well, that's all, I guess. Thank you guys for hopping on tonight and spending over an hour with us, growing your mind. And we look forward to you all kicking booty over the next few days and the next month and the rest of your life.
And if you didn't raise your hand, because I saw some of you that didn't, and I'm not going to call your names out, like Anna, I saw that you didn't raise your hand, like, you're going to hit it this month. And so if you guys didn't, and you're one of the ones that said, it's not going to happen in September, that's where the shit's got to stop now. That's where you have to get that mindset out to say, fuck that, I'm going to do this. And I'm sorry, like, that I'm cussing, but you have to get to the point to say, I am not going to let this happen. You make a post tomorrow, you have 3 days still. I've seen people do it in like an hour. When you want it, you can make it happen. You just have to put your mind into it to say, I'm going to do this. So I didn't mean to call you out, but you were the one that I saw that didn't raise your hand. And I know there's a whole bunch more. I just didn't catch your names. But I will call you out if I watch this video back and I'll let you know. But I'm just saying, if that was you, you need to be the ones more than anyone else to say, I'm going to do this. Not only will it help your confidence, it will excite you again, and it will make you more excited for the next month, and know that you can do this. All of you can do this. There shouldn't be a single one of you to miss it. No reason. So. All right, y'all have a great night.
All right, love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Yay.